So, I welcome us once again, um, and it's going to be a great time today. Please do well to hit the like button and begin to share from any of the platforms you're streaming this live from, whether you're watching by Facebook Live or on YouTube. I want you to hit the like button and begin to share with everyone that you can get to. Let them know that we are live right now. I believe it's going to be an amazing time today, and I can't wait to dive into what we are discussing today. So hit the like button and begin to share. And once you're done sharing, I want you to meet me at the comment section. Let's interact. Okay, let me know where you're watching from, and let's just talk on the comment section. Someone says we can't hear Apostle. Is that true? Can they hear me now? Okay. Okay, perhaps from their end. And I just pray we'll have a stable network today. So hit the like button, share with everybody that you can. Just keep sharing and sharing and share, even with people whom you think have no business with this broadcast. You may never know. They may just develop interest and want to be part of what's happening here right now. So please do well to share with as many as you can. And let's get ready for an exciting time. Today it's mentorship session, and I believe that we are here because we believe in growth, in personal development and transformation. I believe that several of us are leaders in our respected field, and I know that the things that we get on this platform are very instrumental to furnish your leadership in the very sphere of influence where in the very sphere of society where you have your influence. Okay, whether in business or in the corporate world or in the church setting, this show is meant for you, and I believe that it will tremendously transform your thought patterns and your mindset about life, about growth, about leadership, about faith, and everything that there is. So please like and share. We're going to be getting into the subject for discussion today in 3 minutes. So I'm just waiting for us to do that. And like I said, please engage me on the comment section. First of all, let me know where you're watching from, what city, what nation, and then let's just interact at the comment section. Okay. Thank God for those of us who are on Facebook, on YouTube. I don't know if we're live on Facebook. Okay, 2 more minutes and then we'll be digging right in. Hit the like button, share, and then if this is your first time on YouTube, please do well to subscribe to the channel, and trust me, there are many many more programs that you need to be notified about coming on that platform that will truly bless and impact you. So I'll urge you to hit the subscribe button and then turn on the notification bell so you can get all notifications coming to you on that platform. And if you're watching by Facebook for the first time, you're most welcome to join our fan page on Facebook, be part of our social community. Follow the page on Facebook and let's engage in continuous interaction. All right, you see we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, right? Okay, so we're ready to go. I'm noticing new persons joining us today. That should be Moses from Nottingham, UK, United Kingdom. And Nelly, of course, from Winchester, Virginia. Nelly, how are you? And a whole lot of us over here in Nigeria. Okay, we just keep the comments going as we're going to dig in today. So, like we always do, we start with a word of prayer and then we get into the discussion for today. Okay, while you're still liking and sharing with your friends and colleagues, let us pray. Father, thank you for another opportunity and moment with your people all over the world, and thank you because it's mentorship session. Thank you because by the supply of your wisdom and your grace, it will be life transforming, educative, informative, impactful. And thank you because you will cause us to learn so much that will help transform our lives, our leadership, our growth and personal development, and see us step into the next level in our pursuit of greatness. Thank you for giving me the tongue and the wisdom of the learned, and thank you for the receiving heart and ears of your people, as well as thank you for a favorable network in all places connecting to this broadcast right now, and thank you for a stable power even over here in the studio. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, like I said, this program is really about those of us who are interested in growth and personal development, interested in transforming our leadership IQ, especially those of us who may be leaders in different fields in life. So this is a program for you, and I'm excited with the subjects we've been treating in recent times. In fact, if this is your first time joining us, I would really urge you, if you can, within the week to go back, in the days ahead, to go back and watch the various sessions ahead. We've had amazing discussions that we have treated. In recent times, we have treated very interesting subjects. We talked about motivating your team. We talked about why leaders fail, and we've talked about defining your values. We've talked about the success syndrome. Very, very interesting segment. I think we had about 3 parts of it, and then we talked about taming the tongue, and a few weeks ago we began with people-driven leadership. Last week was the 3rd episode of people-driven leadership, and I want this to be the 4th and the last part of people-driven leadership. Well, this is something that this particular subject we are dealing with today is not really something I may have read in a book, but in my experience as a leader and seeing the challenges that leaders face across board in every endeavor, in every sphere in society. I see the challenges that leaders face. In fact, I was thinking about something within the week, So much is spoken about leadership, about the duties and the qualities of a leader, but I think very little is spoken about the followers. We talk very little about those who follow, how they must follow, the principles that they must live by. And I want to attempt to talk about that from next week. I want to attempt to help us dive into maybe 2 or 3 episodes about followership, because we talk a lot about leadership, and there's a lot of pressure on leaders, especially positional leaders, of what they must do and what they mustn't do. But very little is talked about for the followers. And I believe that what makes you a leader is because you are followed one way or the other, socially, physically, practically, spiritually, or otherwise. And in the coming weeks ahead, I would want us to take maybe 2 or 3 episodes about followership, because every leader, one way or the other, is also a follower. And every follower is a potential leader. And you cannot lead until you have learned to follow, and follow well. So you see, most of the subjects we talk about here on these platforms are directed to address modern day problems that we face in society as we hurdle through the subject of growth and personal development. And such is the subject that we are discussing today. I've looked at some of the challenges that we face as leaders, leading our teams, from military officers to politicians to diplomats, government officials, to clergy, pastors, and church leadership, societal leadership, and leadership in every facet of life. And what we want to talk about today is one major and common problem that almost every leader that will spearhead the leadership of a team usually faces. I want to talk about team polarization. Team polarization. Team polarization. Team is spelled T-E-A-M. Team polarization. Polarization is spelled polarization. I'm sure you can write that down. Team polarization. Yes, I see we have someone from Kano State. Panawa Calvin, all the way from Kano State. Thank you for joining in. Okay, we have quite a number of people on Facebook. Thank you, Mr. Shetima, all the way from Ogun State. Thank you, Kenny. Michelia from Jos. Thank you, Dr. Williams from Kaduna, and a whole lot of our people over here in Nigeria. Thank you, Mary Gambo. Thank you, Hawa Mohammed from here in Maiduguri. And just, I believe as we keep liking and sharing, a lot of people will get to connect with this discussion today. Team polarization, in brackets, managing the dynamics of every team. Managing the dynamics of every team. Remember my definition of the word team, using the acronyms TEAM, is together everyone achieves more. I believe in a team spirit. I believe in the power of teamwork, and I believe that the leadership of every individual is a formidable force when he or she is working alongside with a team. Whether you are a leader leading leaders, or you're a leader superintending over followers. Team polarization, how to manage the dynamics of every team. The word polarization is actually a scientific word. So if you have done basic physics, you would have discovered that word polarization or polarity. Okay, in basic physics, it has to do with light. It has to do with energy. It has to do with addressing terminals when talking about the energy that is emitted from a body. Team polarization. Team polarization. So let's just look briefly at the meaning of polarization. Number one, it's division into two sharply contrasting groups or sets of opinions or beliefs. Two sharply contrasting groups or sets of opinions or belief. Okay, so when you have two different opinions in the same group, or two different streams of belief or belief systems contrasting one another within a clause or a conclave, that's polarization. Like I said, polarization is a word borrowed from science, physics actually. In science, it is the action of restricting the vibrations of a transverse wave, especially light, wholly or partially to one direction. Let's look for some simple meaning of the word polarization. Polarization is a concept that comes from science, like I said, and it involves light, radiation, or magnetism moving in specific directions. Radiation, magnetism, light moving in specific direction. In terms of light, think about a broad spectrum of light, like the rainbow, where you have about 7 colors or spectrum of light, all in different or specific directions. And think about a magnet, okay, the north and the south pole. You have two different poles. That's in the field of magnetism. So polarization is simply contrasting between theories or ideas or concepts or mindsets or beliefs. It's simply contrasting between differences. Here, this polarization refers to how people think, especially when two views emerge that drive people apart. How people think. So the mindset or the thought pattern of people in opposing views. So you have two different schools of thought about the same thing. One sees from one perspective, the other sees from the other perspective. Okay? And because of this school of thought or this mindset, people seem to differ, or people are separated into groups. That's what polarization is. So when we talk about team polarization, okay, there's also social polarization. Yeah, social polarization or societal polarization is the segregation within a society. The segregation within a society that emerges when factors such as income inequality, real estate fluctuations, and economic displacement result in the differentiation of social groups from high income to low income. So when you narrow it down to social polarization, you're simply talking about differentiation of social groups. Like, we have the high income earners, the middle and the low income earners, or like you have high the upper class in society, you have the middle class, and you have the lower class. And of course, this is largely due to the income inequality. This is also due to housing factors, okay? In fact, in some cities, there are areas they call highbrow areas. Sometimes they are even called government reserved areas. Okay? And then there are other areas. In fact, in Nigeria, I don't know if you have it in the United Kingdom or in the United States, but we have places built by the government that are called low cost houses. Okay, meaning that housing and real estate in these areas are relatively cheap, so they are reserved mainly for middle income or low income earners. So these factors bring about differentiation in society. So you have one society with different groups, either due to their mindset or due to physical factors that differentiate them. So when we're talking about polarization, we are simply talking about dynamics amongst a people, differentiation, classification. Okay, and these differentiations are built based on opposing views, just like a magnet has a north pole and a south pole. All right, and these poles are apart from each other. So having read all these definitions, when we talk about team polarization, what are we referring to? Team polarization is simply talks about the dynamics of opposing views or character of individuals. The dynamics of opposing views or differentiation of character within individuals in the same team. Let me say it again. The dynamics of opposing views. So in one team, you can have people with different views, or the differentiation in individual character within a team. Of course, not everybody in a team is the same. In fact, even in positioning, not everybody in the team will function in the same position. In a football team of 11 people, you have a goalkeeper or a goalie, you have defenders, you have midfielders, you have attackers, you have strikers, you have substitutes. All of these have different positions marked out for individuals in the same team. And the individuals will be shared into these positions based on their individual characteristics. So we'll look for those who can fit in the area of defense, those who can fit in the area of midfield, those who can fit as attackers, the person that can fit as the goalkeeper. But you see, because polarization has to do with, opposing or opposition emerging within a team. Think of team polarization to be having individuals of different orientation, individuals of different mindsets within a particular thing, different perspectives within a particular thing. Sometimes it is concerned with their character. For instance, many of us, one way or the other, would have led a team of people where you have this one person in the team that always will not agree with what you say. For instance, say, we are all doing this. This one says yes, 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 yes. Everybody says yes. And this person says, no, I don't think we should do this. I think it will get us into trouble. And then everybody in the team says, oh, not again. Why is this person always opposing anything we want to do? In fact, in English, a normal diction we use in Nigeria, we call them enemies of progress. And There are a lot of leaders who don't like people like that or team members like that. Why is he always opposing everything we do? Why does he always have a different view? In fact, it is a miracle if that person doesn't disagree after a discussion. They say, anybody has anything to say, everybody's just thinking, well, he's going to say it again. He's going to say it again. And eventually, if the person doesn't say anything, they say, oh, thank God we can continue. Now, while growing up, in my first exposures to leadership, I always had a hard time with people who were pessimists, people who were always opposing and going against, agreements of a team. But in recent times, and as I grew older in leadership, and I'm still growing in leadership, okay? But in recent times, and with all the experience I've had, I've realized that everybody in a team is helpful, is needful. As a matter of fact, I believe that any team can be the dream team. Any team. I don't necessarily believe that you need to take out some people in your team to make it the winning team or to make it the best team. I believe in the dynamics of polarization within a team. I believe that a fair team is a team that has people of different views. Even though we are bounded by one goal, our tasks are different, and our views to achieving that goal is different. I believe because this helps us to have different perspective of what we want to achieve. You see, most times many leaders feel that the job is easy for them when everybody in the team thinks like them. For starters, that may be okay. But as you grow towards people-driven leadership, remember where we are coming from. For those of you who have followed the last few episodes, if you really want to be a people-driven leader, and of course when we say you are a people-driven leader, we're not saying that you do everything to please the people. No, we're talking about building a leadership platform that harnesses the potentials of the individuals in the team to achieve a goal, and at the same time help develop their individual potentials. So it's a win-win for a people-driven leader. The goals are achieved and the people are developed, are trained, are nurtured, are built. If you truly want to be that kind of a leader and become an asset to your team, then you must learn to welcome every individual in the team the way they are. Let me give you an example of, we'll look at both troublesome individuals and we'll look at, good and qualitative individuals within a team. There are people in a team. These are what I refer to as troublesome individuals. There are people, like I said, this is not something I've had to borrow a lot of information, but this is a life applicable discussion. So I'm not really giving you points as it were. I just trust that we are following. Okay, and for some of you, this may be advanced mentorship on leadership. Think about the following people in your team. Number one, cynics. The cynics, C-Y-N-I-C. Let's look at the character of a cynic. A cynic is one that carries the character of sarcasm. They always speak in sarcastic terms. Cynicism, pessimism. They are always away from the others. Their view is always opposed is always counter to what others say. Pessimism, of course, is the opposite of optimism. Whining and general sniping are all common negative attitudes of a cynic. And there are individuals like this in a team. Then there is the slacker. The slacker is the weak end, the loose end of the team, the one who is not always living up to teamwork standards, the weak link, as you can put it. Okay? And many leaders will have a problem with slackers in their team. You know, those people who they are always showing up late, they are always the last to complete a task, they are always the one asking for grace. Even when grace has been given, they still default. They always come up with excuses and all of that. Then there is the diva in the team. These are people who are experts in narcissism. Okay? They are narcissistic. They are experts in narcissism. Can somebody tell us the meaning of narcissism on the comment section? Narcissim. Narcissim. So it's meant to be interactive. So I'm going to ask a question now. Somebody should tell us the meaning of narcissism. Let me see at the comment section first to get it. I hope we are following. I just see some people typing blessings. Welcome. I hope we are following. So who is a narcissist? Or what is narcissism? Let's see somebody who is following to give us the meaning of that. Of course, I said this is one of the characteristics of a diva. Okay? This is a a member of a team. Of course, narcissists are people who just feel everything in that team should be about them. They want to be at the center of it all. Everything should rotate and revolve around them. In fact, if they are not involved, it is doomed to fail. And if they find out they are not at the center stage of any strategy postulated by the team, they will oppose it with everything they can. These people are difficult to manage in a team. Narcissists, they are difficult to manage. Somebody said excessive interest in or admiration of oneself. Okay. Nelly says narcissism is a self-centered personality style characterized as having an excessive preoccupation with oneself and one's own needs, often at the expense of others. Exactly. It's always me first above others. And if it doesn't work for me, and if there's nothing in for me, we'll oppose the whole system, we'll heat up the whole polity. When they say everybody should come by 8 a.m., they will say no, 10 a.m. Those are narcissists. Then we have another set of troublesome individuals in the team. Remember, we're talking about team polarization. So we are gathering both the good and the bad in a team. Then we have the pebble in the shoe. Pebble in the shoe. These people are the teammates who provide persistent annoyance to other teammates. All right. They are the ones always causing problem for other teammates. They are always getting on the nerves of other teammates. They are always the trouble of every other teammate. You know, they can be the ones that cook up excuses, the ones that, just they do everything to just ensure they get under the skin of their teammates, knowingly or unknowingly. Mary Gambo says, narcissist simply a selfish person. Yes. Someone with high self-focus and need for admiration. And sometimes we become political. For those of us who are leaders, we become political. We try to always massage the ego of these ones to find our way around the team. Right? I've done that before. If you have done that like me, please comment in the comment section. Type in the comment section. We always want to massage their ego just so we can have our way. I wish we had time. We would have also talked about troublesome leaders. Would have talked about titans, those who are very ambitious, and because of their over-ambitiousness, there's always conflicts in steering the direction of the group, desire for resources and all of that. We have the mavericks, those who are always trying to push the standard, go high. You have them especially in corporate cycles. They want everybody to be on their toes, always aiming high. They don't really believe in process that will slow them down. And then we also have leaders who have their own crisis and sometimes allow their own personal crisis and challenges to come in. Now we also have some other people, some other good people in the team. Let's not just appreciate the bad. Let's also talk about the good. We have achievers. And according to their name, they are go-getters. They just wait for a goal to be set for the team, something that will put them under pressure to deliver. They love to get on the go. They love to do something. They are performance driven, achievers, and they take a lot of pride in achieving or fulfilling something for the team. We have motivators. Those are part of the team, always trying to encourage people, encourage the other members of the team. They are there. We have the faithfuls. They may not really be good in achieving, but they are always loyal to leadership. Whatever the boss says, wherever the boss goes. Sometimes the extremism of faithfuls are, some of them tend to just be yes men. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. We can do it sir, even when we can't do it. And you have a real problem as a leader if everybody in your team says yes. That we're not saying that it's a must that people should oppose, but not all the time should you have everybody say yes. If you must see something from different views, then you need people who are ready to kindly, firmly, and submissively oppose your view by giving you another perspective of the whole thing. So, how do you manage the dynamics of your team when you have a team with wide polarization, different kinds of people? Let's go from talking abstract to let's talk practical now. Jesus had such in his team. He had people of different views. He had a politician in his team. His name was Simon the Zealot. He had fishermen in his team: Peter, Andrew, James, and John. All right. He had a tax collector, a customs officer, who was a very good accountant. Matthew was in his team. He had one of his relatives in his team, Judas, who became the one that betrayed him. He had different kinds of people. He had Thomas, a logical personality, someone who believed in facts and figures, someone who believed if it could not be written in paper, then we are not doing it. Okay? He had Philip. He had different kinds of people in his team. As a matter of fact, I remember one time when James and John went to Jesus. I'm sure because of self-preservation. They wanted to lobby their way into Jesus' kingdom. They say, grant that each of us will sit, one at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom. And the Bible says, when the other 10 disciples heard it, they were angry. They were angry not because James and John spoke what wasn't wise or spoke out of understanding. They were angry because they weren't the first to ask for that. Perhaps all of them wanted the same position. And Jesus had to call them together. You will be an exceptional leader if you are able to manage the polarization of your team. If you are able to manage the dynamics of your team, no matter how high the polarity. And I'll give you a few things that will help you before we go today. I'll give you a few things, a few keys that will help you manage the dynamics of your team. It'll help you manage the polarization of your team. Key number one, appreciate the diversity. Appreciate the diversity. Welcome everybody in the team, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All welcome. Everybody has something to offer. Appreciate diversity. Appreciate diversity. Do you know diversity is the signature of divinity? Yeah. God is a God of diversity. And there's a reason for why He will have different kinds of people in your team. I know there are people in your team you wish that they just leave. You wish that they are not even there. You will not be able to express a dynamic leadership role if you want everybody to be cloned and to be the same. Even the body has many parts. So key number one, learn to appreciate diversity. Very, very, very important. Whether you are the manager with different officers or senior officers under you, whether you are the team lead having people of their different officers with different perspective and different characteristics in your team, appreciate the diversity. Key number two, start with the belief that everyone has good intentions. It's too early for you to begin suspecting. No. Start with the belief that everyone has good intentions. Especially when you are going to take over an already existing team. You have to be careful sometimes what people tell you. Don't close your ears to what people tell you about the team, but at the same time, seek your own experience with the team. And so start with the mindset that everybody has good intentions. However, you must watch with discernment to match actions with those intentions very well. Okay? Key number two, start with the belief that everyone has good intentions. Key number three, accept reality, but do not let reality define you. This is the mindset to manage team polarity. This is the mindset to manage the dynamics of everything. Key number three, accept reality, but do not let reality define you. What is reality? Reality of the problems ahead of you, the challenges facing the team, realities of the team itself having a wide range of polarity. Cynics are there, slackers are there, narcissists are there. Accept that reality, but don't allow that reality to mark your leadership. Let it be the raw material with which you can transform a team with such wild polarity to become the winning team, the dream team. Okay? You must accept reality. Under accept reality, see reality. You see reality by observation, by questioning, and reflection. Accept reality. Accept reality. But do not let reality define the outcome. Key number 4, set the high bar for excellence that people desire. Set the high bar, B-A-R. Set the high bar for excellence that people desire. You know, one thing I've discovered about the team, when you bring the concept of achieving a goal, one way or the other, everybody will throw in their support. Everybody wants to be part of a team that wins, including those who don't intend to win. So take advantage of that desire, that arousal in the heart of everyone in that team, regardless of their mindset and their character. That everybody wants to be part of a team that wins. And then set the high bar of excellence. Go for excellence. Go for excellence. Make your team understand that excellence is achievable. Okay? As a leader of that team, be courageous and set the bar of excellence high. Provide the investment and belief in your people that they can learn how. That's very important. Provide the investment and belief in your people that they can learn how. The results will amaze your organization and your customers. Let them know we can do it. It is achievable. It is not rocket science. And let them know we only need to learn. Nobody is born successful. Everyone becomes successful because they decide to be successful. Okay? Oh, there are many other keys, but perhaps I'll bring up these keys next week. I'll bring up these keys next week. With these keys, you can transform troublesome members of your team to being tremendous. I'll give you 3 more keys next week, and then we'll wrap it up for that. So I would like you to go over what we have discussed today and then reflect with it on your leadership experience in your organization, in what you do. You will discover that what we have talked about is not abstract. You will see these things and the practicality of the same in your very life. You will see it in the team you are leading. But remember, being able to manage the dynamics of your team, regardless of the wide polarity, is what will help you transform troublesome members to being tremendous teammates. And like I said at the beginning of this discussion, any team can be the dream team. You just have to believe and make it work as a leader. Bring everybody together. Practice the keys that we have talked about today, and then gradually begin to influence each of them to see that even in their negativity, they can contribute to the growth and the success of the team, but that they can do more when they decide to switch into the positive side of their character. You know, as much as sometimes we don't like people who seem to be troublesome in everything, there are times when, for instance, those who are pessimists, there are times when their view can save the team from impending danger or impending doom or failure. And that's why I believe, as a leader, another key that will help you manage the dynamics of your team is to develop a listening ear to all views. Develop a listening ear to all views, regardless of how it sounds. That means you'll have to create effective feedback mechanism for communication. Have a way to communicate with everybody in your team. You get a feedback and be ready for any kind of feedback. Okay? Well, I believe someone has learned something today. And please don't try to make everybody in your team the same. No. Don't try to. Next week, after giving you the few other keys, we'll talk about team polarization in the aspect of relationships. We'll talk about it in the aspect of relationship. There's something I want to show you, how that having different a polarized relationship will succeed much more than a depolarized relationship. A depolarized relationship is when two people in a relationship are trying to behave like each other and losing their original or individual uniqueness. There's a reason why good matches with bad. There's a reason why masculine matches with feminine. All right, and each individual in a relationship, whether it's a marital relationship or a business partnership or a romantic relationship, regardless of what it is, there's a reason why we must bring people of different views together. But that's all we can take today. I think we've spent rather a long time. Thank you so much, and I believe that we have learned a lot. I want you to prepare as much questions as you have. We are going to attend to them next week. We'll conclude on team polarization by next week. We'll use more of the time next week to take questions. So I want you to get ready with your questions, and we'll try to be more practical. I'll bring up some practical scenarios and situations that will help us next week. But thank you so much for watching. I encourage us to watch again and again. Reflect on everything you hear. Trust me, it's going to really help you. It's going to change your views and your mindset about leadership, about team polarization, so that you don't give up on any team that you have been called to lead. Remember, I said any team can be the winning team. Any team can be the dream team if you are able to manage the dynamics of your team. Thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend, and God bless you. A big thank you to all our people connecting from outside of Nigeria and all our dear friends here in Nigeria. God bless you.